How you doing?
Good on you.
Yeah, not too bad. Good
How was your
weekend.
weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Good. Daughter's birthday Friday, so went there like to the exes for party afterwards, which bunch of screaming kids is always great.
Yeah,
I only got it twice while holding the pinata up for him, so that was an improvement on last year.
that's funny.
But yeah, it was a good weekend, and then come back to mine. So the daughter, of course, but birthday, so it's her choice. So no surprise, she wanted barbecue, so I went a little bit more all out this time. So I think I ended up spending about 120 quid on the barbecue.
Jesus.
All the stuff I did. So I only just finished eating barbecue, but
Nice.
she's only 10 once, so spoiler.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, my kids were out of town this weekend for a family thing with Kate's family. So I was at home by myself. Didn't do a whole lot. I needed to print some shirts for the weekend, but my prints didn't come in until today. So now I'm behind and I'm up against it to get a bunch of shirts printed for the weekend. So, but we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. I'll get them done.
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, not much going on. Not much going on. Exciting news in the ACL world of Europe today, coming
Yeah.
out with the whole. Uh, they're going to have 4 people be able to play into a pro spot based on a qualification tournament.
Yeah. No.
So anybody in the top 100 that's not already a pro can register when you get to Croatia. And then the top 24 of those in the rankings will have automatic bids into the 4 brackets. That'll be your top 24 seeds. And then 8 others will qualify playing in a single elimination bracket.
Yeah.
I just want a chance to play for it. We'll
Yeah.
see.
No.
I mean, I'm not like a fool thinking, oh my God, like, I'm going to do this, like, and actually, qualify. But I like the opportunity to have a chance at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
One more tournament to play in.
Yeah. No. Sounds good.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we got a guest on today. We had to wait around for him since we're recording a little later than normal. So when we come back, we will be with back with Jared out of Solent.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. And we are
Yeah.
back being joined by Jared Neusch out of Solent Cornhole Club. Welcome, bud. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah. Long
Yeah.
time listener, first time caller. So
it's great though.
Long time UKCL player too.
What's that?
The season long time UKCL player too. The season 1 OG.
Yeah. Well, we had John Wishart on there last week, and long time listener, long time criticizer. So we were giving him a hard time as well. So how you been getting on, bud?
Oh, it's good. It's good to finally be in the summer weather. I know the farmers are like just needing rain so bad, but it's great for cornhole because you can actually play outside.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. I love the summer weather. Obviously, you being from Texas, me being from Oklahoma, man, we're used to hot summers, and we, that's how we were raised. But yeah, we definitely need some rain, dude. My dog comes in from being in the back garden, man, and she's just covered in like what looks like hay, like she's just been running around in hay or dirt. But yeah, we definitely need some rain. But I think we're on the tail end of this. It's super overcast here in Barrie today, and it only got up to about 22 degrees today. So,
Yeah, it's not bad. And yeah, I enjoy it in the summer, and I can get outside and throw whenever I want, and I begin to take it for granted and I forget, and then it comes like mid-January and I'm like, I can't ever throw. I can never practice because every day it rains over and over and over. I'm like, oh, I just cannot wait for the summer. So I'm trying to kind of focus on like, this is special. I can actually play almost any day I want.
Yeah.
So
no, the winter, it's just perpetually wet all the time. Now, obviously, we know one guy in the league that would tell you to suck it up, Buttercup, because he does it all the time.
Yes, exactly. I know who.
But you know what? I'm just not that. That's not a part of me, man.
No.
It should be, but it's not. So yeah. Your parents are in town. How are they enjoying it?
That's right. I got my parents who flew in all the way from Texas. And my dad joined me at the Solent Club last night. So we had first time a Solent first. So we had 3 generations throwing in one tournament. So my dad and me and my son, all 3 playing. And you know what? My dad, so he, obviously everyone in Texas is at least familiar with what cornhole is. Like it's at every barbecue, every wedding or whatever. But he doesn't like play. He doesn't know how to throw a flat bag or anything like that. So he knew that he was coming to club night. So he's like, all right, I should at least try this whole like spinny bag thing. And so he picked it up yesterday for the first time. And he finished the club night throwing like a 3.3. He actually won a match. Nice. I was so impressed. Nice. He had slow bags. He stayed on the board. He was, sticking 2, 3 on, occasionally get one in. And they were actually like good, rotation. Nice. I was like, all right, he's got it. So I think he's got the bug. And it was a good time. But yeah, it's great to have them here. They're here for another week or so, and then they go to Switzerland for some time and stuff. But we're gonna try and throw some bags while he's here, and yeah, it's great. So
have they visited before?
Yes, I moved here in 2019, just before lockdown and all that madness started, and obviously their daughter, my sister, lives in Turkey. I live here in England, and they're Texans. So they're empty nesters with their 2 kids and all their grandkids living internationally. So it's like the worst case scenario for them. And so they do have to fly like across the world just to see their kids or grandkids. So they try and get here every year or 2. Nice. So not too bad.
Nice. That's awesome.
You get it, Josh. You got family. I said, you get it. You've got family all over the place, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I know the feeling, man. Although now all my family like lives in Oklahoma, and they just constantly give me shit about not being there. like, I'm
sure.
And it started because I was military. It wasn't like I had this choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
And then, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, sure, I had a choice whether I wanted to move back here or not, but I had a choice. To me, it's not a choice because there was no way I wasn't going to be with my kids.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, but I know the feeling, man. Of course, I don't make it back very often. I should. I kind of feel bad about it sometimes because I think, well, I did like 6 trips into Europe to play cornhole, but I haven't been back to the States in like 5 years. So,
well, I'm sure there's some great tournaments in the States and 2 birds with 1 bag, so to speak. So
yeah. Try to anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's one of the fun things about visiting my parents in Austin is I can open the app and it's like any night within 20 minutes I can go to a blind draw, and it's just brilliant. I have to kind of manage it when I'm home. Like, all right, I'm going to go to like 3 blind draws total across 2 weeks. Otherwise, like, I'm just gone all the time. But the competition level, though, insane.
Yeah.
You just go to some random bar and guys are throwing 8s and 9s on the evening, and you're like, golly. So it's crazy.
Well, that Texas Cornhole League ain't no joke. It's put out some great players. You know, your ACO king of cornhole this year,
and
plays
Logan.
in the TCL.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got Logan Chamberlain, who was ranked number 1 in the world on the
Sammy
season. He was the
Soto.
number 1 player in the season for ACL. Sammy
Yeah.
Soto, Gavin Cano. You got, there's some good dudes out there.
I think Justin Burton Jr. too. I think he's a Texas boy. Maybe Sammy isn't. I don't know, but Gavin is. You're right. Gavin and Logan.
Yeah.
Cash Chamness is Texas boy.
He's cashed. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they live. I'm pretty sure they're from the Houston area.
Okay.
So, yeah, man, Texas ain't no joke. Southwest Oklahoma is pretty good too. I guess a lot of those guys will travel down playing the TCL and stuff as well. So, and I just saw this thing that they're starting up their own league as well.
Yeah.
Which to me, I look at this and we constantly, and we got you on here because, we want to talk to you. You're an OG, but then our whole conversation of getting you on here started with the news this week about what the ACL is going to do for next season. With that being said, I look at this stuff, man, and I think, obviously, I don't know. It's not like I have any insight on this. I don't. This is all speculation, all opinions by me.
Yeah.
Although I do talk to enough people that not like they confirm things, but they also kind of have some of the same type thought processes. As much as like the ACL has been changing rules and formats lately.
Yeah.
It's like I begin to wonder when you start having like the TCL that's so strong, Oklahoma starting their own kind of league, and all these other states, that are really kind of doing this. Are people starting to think like, all right, maybe we don't need the ACL. Maybe we can do almost like interstate type things, But obviously, money wise, you need that somebody putting money in. But I got to believe that somebody's dumping money into the TCL as much as they're doing it, or you would know better than I would. Or is it just a matter of there's just so many people in the state of Texas that they can fund it because so many people are registering for events?
It's a good question. I don't have inside knowledge, but it's probably both. Like, as you know, Texas is massive. I mean, there's just thousands and thousands of players that are so good, but also there's a lot of money in Texas, oil money and whatever. So it might be a bit of both. It might be exactly what you're thinking, that there's funding going in, but then there's such a good base there that they can kind of do what they want. I don't know.
I mean, because I look at like, I've always wanted to ask Frank this, and obviously with the ACL, you don't even really have to understand or ask where the money's coming from. We know what kind of big sponsors they have going on, with Camping World, Bush Baked Beans, Kubota, things like that. We know they got money coming in with big time sponsorships. I mean, fuck, they're on ESPN. So, but with like the ACO, man, I've always kind of wanted to ask, but then I think, am I overstepping some boundary? Which I'm really not. I put money into the ACO when I play an event. I think I should probably have the right to know how they're funding it, where they're getting money from, because you don't see big time sponsors, right?
Yeah.
Like there's not a big time TV contract or anything. It's on YouTube. Now, in my opinion, as someone living overseas, if I lived in stateside, it would not, my opinion would probably be a little different. Wouldn't really matter. But living overseas, it's kind of funner to be able to, like, at least I get to watch all the ACO events. Because there is no TV contract with ESPN, so it's all just on YouTube. But I've always kind of wondered though, like, where is the ACO getting this money? How are they funding this? Like, how is it that, and or is it again, self-sustainability, where hey, all the money we're paying out to people is coming from entry fees, but then you got to think like, how are they paying for the convention center in Owensboro? How are they paying for these places? And then, lo and behold, I don't know if y'all saw this just a week ago. They've now put out where they're going to put sponsors on pro jerseys. But apparently, the way I kind of read that, and I don't know the whole insight, and I do want to talk to Danny about this because he'll probably know a little more as a director. But the way I kind of read it and what it kind of looked like to me in some of the comments that were being made is that, yeah, you as a player might get that sponsorship from a bag company, but that bag company, just to have the right and the privilege of putting their logo on your jersey, is also going to be paying some of that money into the ACO. Whereas, like, if you, like, now, I don't know if this is all sponsorships, but myself and Graham, who looks like he's asleep right now, I don't know what's going on. we sponsored Brandon Brown 2 years ago in the Canadian ACL Canada. And we didn't have to pay any money to the ACL. We just had to pay money to Brandon to be a sponsor. Just like, I mean, that's why you get sponsors to help pay for set events and things like that. So no, we didn't have to upfront any money to like ACL to have the privilege of being a sponsor. So I'll be interested to learn and see what happens with this whole ACO bag sponsorship on these pro jerseys and things. It's a few questions I'll have for like Danny, and I'll ask Kim about it because Kim's now kind of part of the top dogs at ACO now and stuff as their social media and all that type. They're essentially their PR person. But yeah, that's real interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's just interesting because it's the sport we love and we watch and it's news. But second, I think it's also interesting because with the UK league being at, such its infancy stage, we can learn from some of these other bigger leagues and kind of let them trial and error this stuff and see how they're keeping the lights on and where they're getting money from. And then as we grow, we can maybe model some of this kind of stuff. And yeah, so no, I agree. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah. I've always kind of wondered, and don't get yourself wrong, man. I've talked to people and I've heard the rumors, and I have no definitive proof or like things like that. But I know there were a few salty ass people that left the ACO because they felt like they were wronged and maybe were still owed some money, and they kind of jumped ship and went to ACL for that reason. But then again, we had the whole issue with some financial issues last year with the ACL and people getting pissed off about that. So I think it's one of those things that I have a lot of respect for Ben and Ali and Nick, and the fact that anytime we asked them, and Ben's came on the show and laid out to the penny every finance they have in the league.
Yeah, I remember that telling Nick off for buying sellotape or something.
Yeah, but those kind of things, I think it's good for the leagues.
Yeah, totally.
Because if you're paying money into something, and you think like I spent just for my next two tournaments, ACL alone. Now, granted, you got the European Championships, so it's a little different, and then our UK Open. But I mean, US dollar wise, I'm sitting at like for the two events. I mean, obviously it's 4 or 5 tournaments in each. But I'm still sitting at like almost $300 American. So I think it's like if I'm going to pay that money into it, I think Con, as the ACL Europe person, should be very open to be like, this is where money's going. I think, Stacy, as ACL overall, should be very open and be like, this is where y'all's money's going. Because I get it, we may not be a publicly traded entity. The ACL may not be publicly traded, but it is definitely publicly funded through entry fees and all those kind of things. And I think it's good to be open about that shit. That way people know where their money's going, man. If you want me to come play 10 events in the UKCL and I got to pay 30 pounds every time. That's 300 pounds a year. That is not a lot to me, but I can understand where people got to justify it. For you, it's 40 pounds because you got a kid. Now, both of my kids play. Guess what? Now it goes to 50 pounds. So for them to come out and be like, hey, this is where all your money's going, I can respect that. And I like that. And it makes it a little bit easier for people to justify spending their money for something. But it's, I think cornhole is one of those sports that's always going to have financial hardships. It's never going to be the NFL, the Major League Baseball, the NBA. It's never going to be that. Not even close. I mean, not even close. But with open lines of communication and, kind of not trying to hide shit from people goes a long way in sustainability, I think.
Yep. No, that's right, man. That's right. Yeah, no,
Because I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and I don't mind it remaining a niche sport that isn't as big as the NFL, because then people like us can get pro status.
No, I'm with you. I leave it as a niche thing, man, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, even then, I saw this thing the other day, and it was talking about this guy posted, and he goes, it's broken. Can it ever be fixed? And he's like, I don't think it can, because people are worried about showing up just to win money, and now we're struggling to get venues, even in the States. Like these venues that wanted to host, the bar and food money just isn't there anymore because not as many people are coming, or they're coming and they're bringing their own beers and not supposed to, and they're not paying for this or they're not doing that. So these people are like, we take, let's say, they're getting $2-3 per person. They might make, for what, 4 or 5 hours of giving up their venue, they make like $120. Nobody's going to keep doing that. So then they were talking about, people are having to go to the Elk Club or the, your Legion buildings and things like that, or private residencies. And I think that's we know that. And it's crazy because I think now people are starting to realize that in the States, whereas like us in England, we just know that to be the norm, and I think it's hard, man. And I think it's still hard in the States. Now, Texas may not have as big of a problem because fucking every building in Texas is huge. I mean, they put bars just in big ass barns, Nah, it's a thing. I'm not like bullshitting here or even going into the cliche that everything's bigger in Texas, but it is a fact.
Yeah.
It is a matter of fact, not a matter of opinion.
And some of the, some of the venues I've played in Texas, which is not many, I've played in like 4 or 5, just like bars. And the feel I get is because you go to a blind draw and there's 40 or 50 people playing. Maybe on a bigger one there might be 60, but it's somewhere in the like 30 to 50 range, and everyone drops in maybe a 10 or maybe a 20, and then the money gets paid out, and at least first and second, maybe even third, gets all this money back. Well, it's because they aren't renting the place, because everyone's going there to buy drinks and food.
Yeah.
So the venues love it. They're like, yeah, can you please have your cornhole night here? So it's just, they aren't having to use all that money on overhead. And it's also not a club sponsoring it either. It's not some entity that's putting it on. It's just kind of a running club night there, or a running tournament, I should say. But yeah, but then the money just gets.
It's usually like a local director or something, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. So.
Well, that's just like we got tabbed. I don't know if this is public knowledge, but we were on the short list to be the European Championships this year instead of Porridge, Croatia again. They went back to Porridge because they got a great deal on the venue, and Porridge was all in, and they were like, man, we'll give you this venue again. Like, come back, do it again. But Simon, man, he was on it, dude. He was like working his tail end off, man, trying to find a venue. And very difficult to do at a budget that the ACL was willing to pay. which is no surprise. Like, you can't just pump tons of money out if you're not going to make the majority of it back. Like, that's a poor business model. But one of the venues he found would have been enough room, but they were going to give it to us for the weekend, and it was like well over budget. But even then, they were like, but we're not going to shut it off to the general public either. And we're like, dude, you don't understand. Like, I can't be playing and just have some schmuck walk through. Like,
Yeah.
we have hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of equipment. Can't just have people that don't respect it or care. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you think there were like, I don't know, 400 or 500 fucking people in Porridge last year for the tournament. Something crazy. Like, I think that's what it was. It's like some crazy number anyway. Trust me, the venue was going to make their money in beer and food. But no, man, they don't. And I think because in this country it's too niche.
Oh yeah,
it's too niche. Yet paddleball can do whatever they want. They get any venue they want.
Graham likes that one. Yeah.
So dumb. All right, man. That's enough of the soapbox on how we're going to pay for everything. Although I will say this, I did tell Ali he needs to get a beer sponsor rather than a rum sponsor because I don't drink rum. I want a beer sponsor. Get a beer sponsor.
Well, we've got one at Solent. We've got a great beer sponsor.
Who?
Powder Monkey.
That's awesome.
They're amazing. I will say I was lucky enough to get one of those rum bottles and drink it with my wife over the next month after the tournament. Fantastic. So I can confirm it was good. But if you don't like rum, then you don't like it.
No, it's okay. So did you have the honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is decent. I'm not bad-mouthing our sponsors.
No, of course. No, of course.
But I've said this to a couple people, and only the Americans get it.
Yeah.
The cherry just reminds me of Robitussin.
Yeah. No, as soon as you say that, I'm like, I don't know about cherry rum.
Yeah.
Especially because it's thick. It's like a liqueur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We drank it, I think. Honestly, I think we drank it when we were down at y'all's tournament.
Yeah.
We were in the Airbnb, I thought. Maybe it wasn't that one. It was one of them.
Either that one or the weekend where there was the doubles as well. Where we had the singles the Saturday and the doubles the Sunday.
Yeah, maybe.
We had a bottle of rum in the Airbnb then.
Yeah, but it was the cherry. And as soon as I drank it, I was like, God bless. This is just like Robitussin, dude. And I can't do it.
I mean, it sounds like it. Yeah.
It was just, I couldn't do it. But yeah, no, I'd love to get a beer sponsor because, I mean, I'll help you out.
Well, you guys mentioned the now obviously if you've got places you want to go and chat, then you just lead it. But you mentioned the 21 or 21 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to.
Okay, do you guys have hot takes on this? Do you have strong opinions?
So like I said, I find it funny because the pros hated the round limited a year and a half ago or last season, right? Hated it. Now, granted, it was like 12 rounds. And that's
nothing.
Yeah. 12 rounds is really nothing when you're talking that level of play. So 21, I'm with you though. I do kind of like the concept, 21 or 21. Like, hey, get it done. And it will, on a viewer standpoint, it's much more enjoyable than watching Cash and Jamie go four-bagger for 53 freaking rounds, man.
Yeah.
You're thinking like, especially time difference here for us, Like, I'm staying up to watch this match, and I'm watching the same one for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. So I think that's pretty awesome in and of itself. I think I like the concept for a viewership standpoint. If I was a pro at that level, I don't know how I'd feel about it. I mean, what were we playing? Tuesday night in our tournament. I was down 19-3 to Woody. And I came back and won. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you think about it like that, you have a couple bad rounds and you're down pretty big. That's where round limited gets you, because then you got this amount of time to make up this amount of points, rather than, hey, we're just going to go all day 1 point at a time.
Yep.
So yeah, I like it. I don't think, you asked, and this was kind of how we talked about getting you on the show to debate this. I don't think to the degree of, your question, if it would, how we think it would affect the UKCL, or, if it's something we should have, start looking into. Now, not even a little bit. Maybe for, so,
Okay.
I mean, you think about it. I think in most tournaments, the average game length is only like 12, 13, 14 rounds. I mean, you have some that'll go to 17, 18, 19. I can't remember the last game that went more than like 20, 21 rounds. Now I think, and that's not counting a juniors match where they're throwing 1 PPRs, right? And that's no slight on them, just a fact.
Yeah.
Just facts. So I think a match like that, sure. But then, hey, if you're going to implement it for one, you got to implement it for everybody. I think we could implement it. I think Ben and them could go, okay, man, 21 or 21. And in a whole tournament outside of maybe the juniors, the adults, it might affect 2 or 3 matches, maybe.
Did we not have it at a tournament in season 3 where the rounders was limited?
We did.
Yeah.
At yours, yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because I think I actually I won 1 game because it was round limited. What was one of them where I'd got a lead and they started coming back, and then it was like, oh, we're out of rounds. Yes. Take me 1 point victory and run type thing.
Yeah. But I mean,
whereas they had the momentum.
Yeah,
so
but
if
it was round limited. But again, Graham, it was round limited at 12 rounds. 12 rounds is they have 12 rounds to 21 rounds. 9 rounds is a lot at our level. It's a lot at our level. At that top tier pro level in the ACL worlds, like Jamie Graham, Cash, Logan, all them, 21 rounds isn't that much, man. They average like 30 rounds. Like, that's an average. Average game goes 30 to 35 rounds. So 12 to 21 isn't that much. So I don't know how they'll feel. I mean, you best believe that as a podcast, me and Graham are going to go around asking all the pros in a week and a half when we see them in, or 2 weeks when we see them in Croatia. You best believe I'm asking. But yeah, I don't know. How it will affect. And, people then started chiming in about ACL Europe. Again, I mean, I go to quite a few of the tournaments. We definitely follow all the results of a lot of the tournaments. And I can't imagine, I don't remember seeing too many of those go well into the 20s either. So I don't see it in Europe, to include England. I don't see it really being a thing.
So obviously my first exposure was hearing a few ACL pros talking about it when it got first announced. And the first guy I saw explaining it said, hey, basketball, football, soccer, all these sports, all of these sports have game clocks. Why shouldn't cornhole? There just has to be finite time. Otherwise, imagine like football or UK soccer. Imagine it's just like, hey, someone's got to score and you have a 3-4 hour match. We'd just be pulling our hair out. Like the viewership would go way down. And that's already the complaint about UK
Oh, 100%.
soccer or football. It's like, man, it's just goes on forever and there's no scoring. So I think for US pros, if we really want the public to start gaining a bit more interest, if they want that kind of momentum, then this is the right move for sure, because some of these matches, they do just go on forever and you're like, oh, it's round 12 and it's 3-4 and you're like, oh my gosh, how long is this going to go? I think it's indisputable that the impact on the UK wouldn't be huge, because these games just don't go 25 rounds. My proposal would be, like, if I could get my way for one tournament, it would be to try one open where it's 21 or 21 for rounders and then unlimited for bracket, so that on the fourth round of rounders, when it's people who are 0-4 playing 0-4, and it's those games that you talk about going 30 rounds, which again, no shade, because we all started there.
Yeah.
But it's like,
where we're not sitting around waiting for 2 hours for a match. Yeah.
And you just can't walk in and say, hey guys, the match is done. That's not fair either. So if you could have rounders where, yes, it matters because you still want to make it into tier 1, but ultimately the stakes aren't super high. I think that would be a place to trial it. And in the bracket, you have that assurance, like, it's 19-3. No matter what, I can chip away at this. And I'm never going to get knocked out of a tournament and robbed of a podium because we hit 21 rounds. That would be how I would want to try it. It's like, let's just see how it goes in rounders. But so I thought about this because at first, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, I love this because, 21's is a lot of rounds and it's not going to affect me that much. The more I've thought about it, though, Josh, I am like you. I think I don't have a way to track this. When I think back across my matches, I think I've come back more on people than people have come back on me. And I tend to be able to go, okay, lock in just 1 point at a time. And I can kind of do that slow game. Poor Woody, I also had a big comeback on him a couple tournaments back, and he was way up, something like 19-3. And I just slowly chipped away. It felt so bad. But I think, a couple of
was
those.
at the ACL weekend, wasn't it?
I think it was. I should have been knocked out. Woody was playing way better than me. His left cut left to right around it was just nasty. The guy was throwing lights out. But then I called a timeout, and he was up by like 12 points or something, and then it just round by round came back. And anyways, he should have won, but it was great. So I'm glad there wasn't a round limit on those, and I wouldn't want to get knocked out of a tournament because time ran out. But I think if it's in rounders, you can only complain so much. You're like, oh, well, if you can't get a lead in 21 rounds, then, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'd be down for that, man. And I'm sure we can put the bug in their ear. Let's give it a whirl,
And it might be one of those things where sometimes when a rule changes somewhere major, the rest of the world watches for a couple of years, and it takes a while for it to kind of normalize, and it'll slowly make its way here. And it might be that in a few years we're used to seeing that on YouTube or whatever, and if we travel, it happens in other locations. And then right now it might seem crazy, but in a few years it's like it might kind of slowly migrate this way. Who knows? As
OGs, all three of us as season 1 OGs, 2 years ago, it seemed crazy that we'd have 50 people at a fucking tournament. So I'm just saying. Graham, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it this season or last season? And I can't remember if it was Gabriel Clausen or Zach Aiken. He played back-to-back games for like 100. It ended up being, or 3 games in a row. And I think it ended up being like 120 fucking rounds at one of the signatures or one of the opens.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, So if you're that dude, you're going, yeah, 21 would have been great.
Totally.
Because, and I personally, I the more we talk about it like that, and the more I sit here and think about it, dude, this could have been the pros going, hey, we want this implemented. We want this because I'm freaking tired. You get into double elimination and you have 3-4 games where you're playing 35, 40 rounds. You're playing more rounds in a day than we might play in a whole, they're playing, in one tournament than we might play in the whole weekend type shit going on. Or a couple matches to our whole day. So I could see where they could definitely be coming in and going, 12's too little, 30 seems too much. Let's just go 21 and 21 and we'll see how this plays out. But I think I honestly think another big move they could have made or probably should make, and I know two women that'll hate me for saying this, but they gotta get that clock back. Like they gotta start shrinking that clock, man.
Like a throw clock when it's your turn to throw.
I mean, Lori Dool and Miranda Coy just won women's doubles world championship, and Lori Dool played it perfectly, using every second of that clock through Sarah Cassidy way out of her rhythm, and they won because of it. But I can assure you that partially because Miranda and Lori are the team you love to hate, at least that seems to be the perception of all of this audience. But if you're in the audience and you're sitting in there and you're just doing this, just waiting 15, 20 seconds for someone to throw every time. And I know when I slow down and actually think about my shots, I play a hell of a lot better. But even then, sometimes I just get bored waiting and I'm like, not fun. All right, let's just throw it.
I think that I agree with you. And maybe the sweet spot would be throw in cut the throw time in half, but then give them a couple more timeouts. Because sometimes I like to and awe over, wait, what shot selection should I do? And then people do go past their throw clock and they have to use a timeout on that. But if I've got 5 or 6 timeouts, but I only have 10 seconds to throw, then it might balance out.
Well, I've said this for as long as I can remember watching ACL, and I think me and Graham have talked about. I don't think we talked about it on the podcast, but I know we've talked about it before. I don't think when you're on the broadcast court, I don't think you should get as many timeouts as they do, and I damn sure don't think the clock
because of the screen.
They can just see what they're looking at anyway.
I know.
But no, okay.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even got to talk to my partner. I already know what the bags look like. I have an overhead view of it.
Totally.
So it's not like I got to take a time out, go down and look at it. Like we got to discuss. Like at that point, you're taking a time out to calm yourself, fuck with the other person, whatever. And that's fine. That is fine. I'm with you. You get about 10 seconds to throw, 7 seconds to throw, and we'll give you an extra timeout or 2. I mean, Charlie Lomax would love that.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, you're right.
Take a timeout, go to McDonald's, get something to eat, come back.
Totally. Yeah, I think you're right. 10 seconds that's too long.
Right now it's at what, 14 or 15 seconds, I think.
Oh man, yeah, that's too much.
That's a lot.
Well, it's 15 from once you're in the rhythm of going to, but from end, so finish that end to that end, the first whoever's trying to finish, I think it's like 30 seconds for the first bag of the round. So it's actually longer.
Is that in doubles or in singles and doubles?
I think it definitely was in doubles.
Because doubles you don't have to walk, so I'd imagine there's.
But I'd have to check to see if it's still the same at the start of the round in singles. But in doubles, whoever's got first bag, they have 30 seconds or something like that.
That's crazy to me.
And then it's then
first bag.
15 seconds.
Hey, there's only two options with the first bag. First bag blocker or in the hole. There is no other, there's no thought process to this. Unless you're me, and then you think, all right, do I front board it now or do I wait until bag 4? Do I get this out of the way now or do I wait until bag 4? And if you're Graham, it's, do I side rail it or put it off the back?
Yeah.
See?
Oh,
just
gosh.
saying. But yeah, your first bag, you should get about 3 seconds.
Totally.
As soon as you pick that bag up, dude, you should be ready to throw. Because there is literally only 2 options. In the hole or first bag block.
Yeah.
Now, second bag, sure. I might need, do I try to cut this? Do I try to roll it? Do I try to air mail it? I get that. But yeah, that first bag, you don't need no time. Just get up there and let her rip, Tater Chip.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. All these regulations that have come into play since we were talking about how we were all 3 season 1, right? Yeah. I was telling my son, I don't know, sometime in the last 6 months about what it was like on season 1. And he was like, well, I think, here's how it came up. He asked me, he was like, what was your PPR that first season? I was like, dude, we were writing scores down on paper. We were moving the little clip up the scoring bar. There was.
But you understand how ridiculous that sounds?
I know.
No, when in fact, tournament number 1, Matt was like, Danny, why don't we just use Scoreholio?
Okay, I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't even know the app was around. Yeah.
Well, he did because he was from Florida. And he'd been playing ACO events using Scoreholio. He's like, there's an app that does that. And Danny just would not relent on this. So when because you weren't at the first tournament, were you?
Oh, I don't think so.
You were about halfway through, weren't you?
Yeah, I think I came to maybe 3
but
or 2.
But I think by halfway through, we were just doing some rounders and bracket at that point.
Yeah.
The first tournament ever, there was 8 of us? And you played everybody.
Oh, I like it.
You do until you learn then you also played best of 3.
Oh, that's right. We used to play best of 3. See, I forgot all this stuff. Oh, that was so
played that first tournament. I played 23 matches.
That's so much. That's insane.
Because I played my 21 playing all 7. Or no, sorry, I played 20 because I lost 2 matches to Matt. So I played 20. And then I had to play, so I played 22 because then I had to play Danny in a 1-match playoff. No, I did play 23 because then I had to beat Graham twice for 3rd place.
Did we play twice or did I just sacrifice it after 1? I can't remember.
I thought we played twice.
Because at that point,
either way, I played 22 or 23 matches on the day.
That's nuts. That's completely crazy. I remember I completely forgot that until this moment.
Complain when they played 7 or 8. They're like, oh my God, I played 7 matches. I'm so tired.
Yeah. I know. I completely forgot about that. And I remember when we went through the first season, and that was all I knew was this. It was my first, I wasn't really playing in the States. So when I played here, that was kind of it for me. And when that season finished, it was always best out of 3. And then I think it was season 2. It suddenly was down to 1 game of 21. I remember when I heard those rules, I was like, this is ridiculous. 1 game? I thought it was so unjust that we were moving to 1 game to 21. I was like, you have to play so well in your 1 shot. And then and now I think best out of 3 is outrageous.
Yeah.
But, oh wow, that's crazy.
I couldn't imagine doing it now.
No. And we had to like obviously like move our little clothespins up
I
the
got pictures of me sitting at the end of y'all's matches because you remember if you weren't playing, you'd go over and kind of do the scoring so that there was no
Yep.
confusion.
Yep. And then you had to write your scores down on a piece of paper, a white paper, and then Daniel would go do his magic and then come back and tell you what you did. And I don't know if you remember this, there was like a to determine rounders, like the week before the tournament, he would do a live stream and do like a random wheel of fortune
to put us in
to put our names
groups,
in.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you got to tune in on
that
Thursday
started from the
or Tuesday,
second
Thursday, or
one.
Friday to know what you're doing on Saturday.
Yeah.
It started that from the second one, which I thought was a bit of a shitter because from the first one, your top 4 finishers were Matt Richardson, Danny, Josh, and me, and you had 3 of us all in the same group.
Oh man.
Something stupid like that is like,
yeah,
with only 2 going through. It's like, well, I know I probably ain't getting out the group then, being in the same group as Danny and Matt.
Yeah, it was, man, it was
There's
crazy
no
back then, though.
Yeah.
But that's that kind of thing, man, where people don't, some of the newbies and things like that just don't understand how far UK cornhole has come in 4 seasons.
It's crazy.
And we say 4 seasons like there's been a lot of tournaments and matches. There hasn't. Season 1 only had 4 tournaments total.
Yeah.
Season 2 had 5. There were 3 opens in the championship in season 1.
I thought there was the open, then 2 northern qualifiers, 2 southern, and then nationals, wasn't there? I thought there was 6.
Not in the first season, no way.
But we went to Oxford twice.
No, we went to Manchester twice, I thought. The first season, we didn't go to Oxford. We only went to Manchester, I thought.
But still, it's a far cry from 9. So we're talking 4, 5, or 6 for a couple of years.
But I'm almost positive the first season there were only 4, and then seasons 2 and seasons 3 were 5. 4 qualifiers and 1 championship. Because I thought season 2's when we went to Oxford, not season 1. I thought season 1 everything was in Manchester.
Season 1, UK Open, Northern qualifier, that was Manchester again, Southern qualifier 2. Oxford.
How are you finding it? How are you finding
UKCL website?
It's there.
They have all the old records.
Yeah, we had 6, including nationals.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, Manchester. Then Manchester again for the northern, and the southern one, Manchester. So Matt won the first 3. Then you had the second northern one. That was when Conrad come over and won, and AA Ryan was second. Then you had another one down south. That again was Matt, and then Matt won nationals.
Oh yeah, Conrad and Aaron. Yeah, those are great guys. I remember them.
And then season 2, Richard Blanc and Conrad kept coming over.
Well, Babbage won the first one, didn't he?
Oh yeah, and Jacob Babbage. Yeah.
Where's Babbage now? He hasn't played in a long time.
No, he retired.
Back
man.
stateside, isn't he?
Yeah, he retired. I think he retired, and yeah, he's living back in the States now.
Okay. He was a great player.
He left after not too long after Trier, Germany. So the European Championships 2 seasons ago. It's a shame you're not coming up this weekend.
I know. To me, it completely maxes me out trying to make it to as many UK Opens as I can. That when I hear about these ACO and ACL events, they just go in one ear and out the other. Because like you talked about, there's not only the time commitment, but when you're traveling all the way down from Solent, I'm doing petrol, food.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my son would never let me go ever to a tournament ever again unless he came. So I'm bringing him with me. So it's double everything. I can't do 10 plus tournaments a year, at least in this current time. But I do watch with great jealousy as I see these tournaments. Like, oh man, be so fun. Are both of you playing? Are you both going? Okay.
Headed down Friday lunchtime.
Now I always need people to kind of refresh my memory because it seems like each event there's some new stakes of some kind. If we get this, then we're qualified for this, and we can play on this team GB, and we go to Europe for this. And
So yeah,
there's always things
this
up
is
for.
last chance. This is the Team GB last chance to meet the criteria of having to play in an ACL Europe event.
Okay.
Obviously, Dave Squared, they went to Belgium, so they've met their criteria.
Yep.
Alex, this will be an event for Alex to make his criteria, and it's also Dale and Pally making their criteria, so they're coming down.
And are they all confirmed?
Yeah.
For the team?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is
But
okay.
they are confirmed on the team with the caveat that you have to come and play in this tournament.
Okay.
Because part of the criteria to make Team GB was to play in an ACL Europe event.
Okay. And will there be a contingency of a contingent of pros flying in, or is this going to be mostly our local kind of crew?
There's some ACL Europe guys coming over. I don't know if anybody coming from the States this season because it was so close to Croatia.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Is there money? Or are there earnings?
there's always earnings at
Yeah.
ACL Europe event.
Okay.
It always kind of plays out on how much, like number of entrants and those kind of things. ACL Europe announced today that there's going to be a play-in tournament for 4 pro spots next season, which culminates in Croatia. And like for me, this weekend has big implications because you got to be in the top 100 to enter said tournament. And I'm sitting just outside, and I can make up those points
Ooh.
this weekend to then get into the top 100.
Have you worked out do you just have to
I need 145
attend,
points.
and by that, how would you earn that? Is it a certain number of wins or what?
Well, yeah, depending on what my place is in rounders, my place in the blind draw swap, and then singles and doubles. Because
Okay.
I only went to one tier 3 event this year, and that was Belgium doubles. So I haven't filled any of my tier 3 points. So whatever points I make in singles and doubles this weekend, I get to carry into the rankings.
So he just needs to not go 0-2.
Okay.
Yeah, but even if I go 0-2 in bracket, I still between rounder I would have to go 0-6 to not get the points, right?
Okay.
But yeah, so it's kind of like I love it because it's kind of a cool little thing I get to really try to play for. Because my goal this year my goal every season in ACL is to be better than I was the year before. And that actually didn't happen last year. I was 75th the year before. I was 77th last year, but I felt I played better. There was just a lot more players, a lot better, competition, leveled up.
The talent pool will grow.
So this year, my whole goal was to be top 70 instead of just top 100. But obviously, with my dad passing away, and then so I didn't go to Slovenia, and then the other tournaments I didn't go to, and my whole kind of traveling schedule got a little messed up. So now, sitting on the outside looking in, Belgium hurt because I wouldn't be if I'd have been able to be at Belgium the whole weekend. But yeah, and then not going to Slovenia, obviously, but then had I went to Slovenia, then I mean, I just still went to Germany and I probably still went to France. but I would have also still thrown in another tournament, probably. But it was all like travel got all messed up with going to the States, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's cool because now I had that little. Ooh, I got to do well this weekend because that's going to help me in 2 weeks' time in Croatia. So yeah, but
No,
yeah,
that's
so
good. Is so for people like me who can't be there, my understanding is it's not on Scorholio if we want to follow along. It's notoriously difficult to be able to follow along on these things, in my
So
experience. Is there like,
go get the ACL Fan Zone app.
Mhm.
Yeah. And on the ACL Fan Zone app, you can add your favorite players. Now,
Okay.
because it ain't like now, I have to have like 50 different players when I'm looking at shit in the States, like at pro events, because there's like 4 or 5 different brackets for singles. So you're trying to follow every bracket. But like you could add me or Graham for the weekend, and obviously we're going to be in every event. So you go 2 hours, like you pick us as a favorite, then you go into our thing and it's going to show you tournaments completed, active tournaments or whatever, and you'll be able to click into that event and be able to
Okay.
check it out.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll have like,
It's a great tip.
oh, if you could see, so like this is France double, so like it'll have the bracket so you can follow along. Score zone, so like how we have the
Active
TV at the
games going on.
UKCL events, like that, and then obviously your end standings, which I'll just go really close there so you can see me and Woody ahead of Josh and Liam.
I knew that was one he was going to pull up.
That one particular event.
Yeah. That was just random.
It was.
Totally, yeah.
He just happened to randomly click on the event.
To be fair, it was the top one on my list.
Yeah.
Because I favorited myself, so yeah.
So Graham, do you have a personal goal for this tournament?
I want to come on with a trophy, even if it's third. There's only 2 people who have completed the trilogy, so to speak, of getting hardware at ACO, and UKCL, and that's Ali and Josh. So if I can be the third, if I can get the ACL one before Liam gets an ACO one, that's like bragging rights amongst our little group of I could do something before like the UK's #1 guy type of thing. It'd be quite cool. Like I've had a few
I did mine in the
decent
same
showings
calendar.
in like the blind draws and stuff in the past there. Like I think my best finish was a equal fourth.
I
Like
did mine in the
the
same
first year.
calendar year as well.
That's legit.
I did mine in February, May, and June.
Oh, that's legit. I think we should call that like the UK Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Now,
to be fair,
I would say the
Josh is
Grand Slam if I'd have won them.
Sure. Oh,
but
yeah.
I only won 2 of the 3. I got second in the other.
Okay.
See, that's where the ACO one is the trickiest one to get because it's actually you have to win the event. There's not for second or third. So this is why I've got that leg up on Liam in case, unless he decides next year to sandbag it and take down tier 2.
Yeah.
But like, I honestly, we should have won in Switzerland. We ended up getting double dipped, and we should not have.
Ugh.
Oh, in the was that the swap or the blind draw?
It was a swap.
Yeah.
Because it was me and oh my God.
From France. Yeah. I can see his face.
Yep.
I can't remember his name.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel terrible right now.
Right, you can feel terrible.
Lucian.
You did partner up with him. Yeah.
Lucian. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so me and Alex, man.
You and Alex. I think you said Ali.
Ali.
So is it?
Oh,
That's
me and
Ali.
Ali. Yeah, I don't know why I said Ali. Me and Ali.
Okay.
Actually, Danny, I think, has one.
Do you have an ACL? He might do actually. Yeah.
When y'all went to Netherlands or Belgium that first year.
He got runner-up in Germany in Tier 2. So yeah, he will have. So I won't be the third. I'm aiming to be the fourth then. But my goal's still to complete the trifecta before Liam.
Now mine,
even if one of them is a runners-up one.
I will say all mine were Tier 1.
Wood.
No, I know. I'm just saying. If we're talking about firsts and the onlys and all that, I just want to say I'm the only one with all Tier 1.
Yeah. So it's that's legit.
Yeah, and then a few personal goals for the weekend as well. I'd like to enter Croatia with the chain around my neck, which, given how the last few games have gone. Although the last big one that wasn't a UKCL one, I did smoke you in the ACO.
So there's
hopefully big stage performance from me.
Jared, there's definitely 2 side games that will happen as well. There'll be the singles match between me and Graham for the chain. And then there'll be a doubles match with me and Graham versus Woody and KT.
Yeah, so this is their official call out. They called us out last year. We put them in drag. So, I mean, when it comes to podcast battles, I would argue now that the big ass guys have retired, me and him are the numero uno team in doubles. What other active podcast doubles team take us down? We're undefeated.
Active podcast.
We had the Battle of the Bags at Nationals. We took home the belt. Well, I took home the belt. I've got it. It's in the kids' room.
But then I would imagine in rounders or in bracket at some point, me and Liam will have to play Woody and Graham again, and we got to get some revenge.
Ain't happening.
We'll see. We'll see.
But yeah, they're my goals for the weekend.
Well, I'll be rooting for you guys. I hope you do well.
For sure.
I'll obviously have to root for my Solent guys, so hopefully you don't run into them.
I don't know. I don't. Who's coming from y'all's club?
I think
Gedney's are coming, aren't they?
Yeah, the Gedneys.
Kieran.
Yeah, but I don't think
the singles
the Gedneys are like flying in. Are they playing the whole weekend, or are they just coming in because they're on this side of the country and they're going to let Kieran play us juniors?
They told
they'd already entered when Kieran won the prize on the raffle.
Yeah, I was messaging with them recently. They're currently in South Africa. They are. I think they're playing. That's what it sounded like.
Nice.
And then we've got Kev Penny and Dave Farmer.
Oh, they're both coming as well.
That's my understanding.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure Kev is, and I think, yeah. Last I heard, they were. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, and there might be more.
It was looking pretty bleak with UK participants outside of Liam Graham and Barry Baggers.
Yeah. No, it's good. And I just know that me and Dave Morey have been moping around and be like, man, we're missing out. But I think the rest of the crew's going. So
nice.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, man. So who's sponsoring you this year? You picking back up with Charge?
Now I was told this very casually by John. He didn't say, don't say anything, or I haven't broken this news yet. So I presume it's fine to tell. If not, I'm sorry, John. But I checked in to say, hey, how are things looking for the season? And he said, we're taking a pass on sponsorships this season. So I have the freedom to kind of think through bags.
I wonder if that means like they're not going to get their ACO stamp either.
No clue.
Huh.
I think the brand is good. The company's good. He said they've got a lot going on. So I think they're taking a pass on that this season, which is fair enough. I don't know anything about it, and hopefully I'm allowed to say it. Sorry, John, if I'm not, but he just very casually told me. So, which is great. I think as much as I love being on the Charge team, as you guys know, I had a real slump this last season, and I just was really struggling. I couldn't figure out my bags I committed to. I just couldn't. And
Well, I thought you recovered well. You finished out the season real strong.
yeah. So and absolutely, I really, really figured out it's just so silly, this game of cornhole. Like one small thing in my mechanics. I don't know when I picked it up, but I picked it up between season 3 and season 4, somehow between the summer. I finished season 3 so strong. I was feeling so good. And something happened literally between then and then. I played okay in London, that first open. After that, one small thing happened in my throw, and I literally spent the whole season in the workshop going, what is going on? I remember, Josh, I sat with you when you knocked me out of a tournament. Just it wasn't even hard for you. You just destroyed me. And I was playing so bad and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, Josh, what am I doing? It took me so long. I finally figured out. It was um something so simple, but when you don't have coaches like watching you and showing you tape and all that, all you can do is from a first person perspective, try and figure out what's going on with your bag or your wrist or your elbow or whatever. And very simply, my bags all season were hitting and flying left, just cutting left, cutting left. And it wasn't the angle of the bag, it would look decently flat. And eventually I figured out that I was throwing nose down uh on my bag. And then when a bag is nose down, it hits
Yeah.
and just rolls. And it took me so long. And then I thought, oh, that's easy to figure out how to just bring it nose up. But that's not easy either. That takes a lot of work. So I literally spent a couple of months trying to get my nose up. And I think I finally have a few fixes, which is really good. And that's how I had a
Yeah.
couple of stronger finishes at the end of the season. But it's so crazy, guys. It's ridiculous. You can just pick up some small tweak in your throw. You don't know where you got it from. It can throw you off for months.
Yep.
And you've thrown 10,000 bags before that. And then just one small change can change it. So anyways, I got way off track there. We were talking about how, I had a real slump this season. I felt bags is like, I'll take on a sponsor. And then I'm like, I am not representing your bags well. The moment you take me on, I'd start throwing terribly. But then
you let us down a bit at the start of season 4 thing. Did we both pick you to pick one up in season 4?
Yeah.
I mean, but much like Woody did the same. We both earmarked him for a tournament. So hopefully you can redeem yourself in season 5.
I remember that. You guys were really kind at the beginning of this last season, and then I imploded. So it happens.
That's
though.
all right.
So what are you going to throw this upcoming season? Are you going back to ultras?
So right now I don't own a set of workable Vipers. I have my old I think they're like 2023s or something, and they are so broken in. There's just like no structure to the bag, and it's almost too loose. So currently the best bag I have are my Charged Serpents, and I've actually gotten I feel pretty confident with them, but I do feel that the Viper is kind of calling me from the distance. So I'm probably gonna, I mean, this is a great platform to do it. I'm probably gonna put feelers out into the league and say, hey, does anyone have a spare set of Vipers gathering dust that they want to part ways with?
For ours or anything in particular?
I mean, I've only used the Viper R's, and I really enjoyed them. And the Serpents I'm going with now, I mean, they're faster, so I've kind of adjusted to a bit of a faster game, and I'm not like cutting as much, but I do like the board movement. I like the flexibility, trying to get around stuff, and so I don't know what I'm gonna throw with this season, but I'm at least gonna start in September with these serpents, and I think I might well change to vipers if I can get my hands on a pair. I just don't want to pay over 100 pounds and do the whole. That's just it's so much to start with. So I think
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
wait.
Hey man, I might be able to. One of us could probably pick you up a pair in porch because I'm sure that
I was just
Wicked
about to
Wood
say,
will
oh
have
yeah,
all their shit
the
with them.
season 1 opener. This the first open for season 5 in September.
Mm.
Because I've got 2 sets of it's the Viper Z's, so you're welcome to borrow a set of them, try them out for between that open and the next, see what you think, and then like give you a month try before you buy type thing if you want, like because they are a bit slightly different to the R's, and if there's anybody out there with R's going spare, you know how you get on with the R's.
Yeah. So without making the listener too bored, we can keep this short. But what's the like elevator pitch for a Viper Z versus like what's the difference?
I think they're like only like I think supposedly it's like 0.5 slower than they are.
Okay, so just a
The
touch slower, is it?
same fast side, same template size, everything. It's just
Okay.
it's newer stamp, and then it's so they're good for a while. And like I say,
Okay.
it's like 0.5 if that off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'll find out the particulars properly, and I'll shoot you a message with some
Yeah.
pictures. But you're welcome to try them for a month, see if you like
Nice.
them. If not, I'll take them back off your hands open too.
Look at that. The friendliness of the UKCL on display right here, ladies and gentlemen. They're just like,
Yeah.
hey, borrow my bags, break them in for me for a
I can
month.
only throw 1 set of bags at a time.
Yeah, totally.
2 bags in that, say they're just different colours, so
Appreciate it.
All right, man. We got some questions for you.
Okay.
Deck around time. Right. So
Deck around, and we got to do the predictions for the season.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
How did you get into cornhole, and how long have you been playing?
So I played like, being from Texas, I played like amateurs do every once in a while at a barbecue, throwing it just like with a claw. But I didn't start actually playing and realizing how you throw a bag until lockdown here in England. My brother-in-law made a set of boards. He's like a carpenter, furniture maker. He set a set of boards out for us, and we just had nothing else to do. So we started throwing, and that's when we Googled, does anyone play cornhole in the UK? And we found the UKCL website, and that's why we showed up to that third tournament of season 1. Was we were like, they play in England. So that's when I started. Thankfully, he made a set of boards, and we ordered like Amazon bags, and they had like real corn in them. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's how it started.
What's your cornhole goal?
Okay, so there's different ways to answer this. I mean, like achievement wise.
Your goal.
Yeah, your main goal.
Okay, so I mean, this is so cliche and generic, but it really is true. Like, I just want to be improving. It's like what you said, Josh. I mean, that's more ranks, which is not, it doesn't correlate exactly, but if overall you can look at that PPR scale and it's slightly trending upward, and I feel like I'm improving and I'm having fun. That's really what I mean. Obviously, I've had a second and I've had a third in singles in the UK. And I just haven't had that first. So someday grabbing a first would be awesome. The problem is the league keeps expanding and the players keep getting better and better. So that's tough. But would love to get that coveted first place sometime.
Highlight so far?
Highlight. Okay, so from UKCL events, my highlight was last year, so season 3 nationals, um, in bracket, I played Richard Blanc. Um, it wasn't a king seat match. It was the round before the king seat match. I beat him, knocked him down, played Liam in the king seat match, lost, and was waiting for the third place match. Richard worked his way back up. I played him for the third place, beat him again, knocked him out, and then played Liam in the final. And it was a great match, but I lost. So to me, Richard, I was like, I'm just going to throw bags. I'm not going to beat him. And then
Well, at the
delivered
time, he
both
was the
losses.
defending UK champion as
Yeah.
well, though.
It
So,
was
yeah,
just
big scalp.
almost no question highlight of my cornhole career here in the UK. It was like, could not believe I knocked him out. And I felt the support of the league too, because he's such a great guy, but people were like, we don't want to see people fly in and just win the UK league. That's not cool. So people were just like so with me. It doesn't get much better than that. So that was a great time. And then it gave me my highest finish too with a second place. So that was good.
Favorite shot?
I really love a good get around bag. So when someone throws a push and they're thinking, or someone throws a block and they're thinking you're gonna either airmail or push through, you step out and just kind of twist it over and go. It feels so good to leave their block there and just work around it. I love a good workaround bag.
Already touched on it, but bags you use?
Yeah, currently serpents. Um, yeah.
And then, what do you, in the debate, we didn't actually ask you what you prefer because we saved it for now, but do you prefer round limited or to 21?
I think if we're talking me playing and not what's best for US or pro or whatever, for me, I'm still wanting unlimited because I want that slow comeback if I need it.
Your favorite player?
I I think I like Mark Richards. Um, Something about his head game,
Yeah.
and he's just, you know, currently he just seems almost unbreakable, and he's just like a robot in his throw. I really like that.
Your dream cornhole partner?
Well, let's just say Mark.
Your favorite thing about cornhole?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same as most people, which is the people. But I'll say this: I'll put in a slight inflection on it to say it's now become like one of the top connection points for me and my son. Um, I've got a history of that was a big way that my dad and I connected was we played table tennis kind of competitively when I was like in high school and a little bit and so we would travel and do tournaments together a little bit, and it was like always like this is how we like spending a ton of quality time, and so I'm seeing it happen on repeat where we're traveling and playing, and so that's like just really good quality time that we probably wouldn't otherwise get. So that's probably my favorite thing.
Like that. And uh, walkout song if you had to have one.
Workout song.
Walkout. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh man,
it's Nationals finals. We're
Yeah.
introducing the two finalists. What's blasting on the speakers?
Probably I'd choose. So my son's like his favorite artist is this rapper named Connor Price. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Um, is amazing. We saw him in concert 6 months or so ago. I would check him out, Connor Price, and he's got some amazing songs. So I'd put that on. Maybe like trendsetter or spinning or yeah, maybe spinning.
Oh, we'll check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's your deck around.
There you go. We did it.
All right. Who wins the league? Not nationals, but the league itself. Who tops the table in league?
For season 5, huh?
Yeah. You are allowed to back yourself.
Yeah. No, you I'm gonna say I have a logic to these different answers. It sounds boring. I'm gonna say currently, I'm gonna say league. I'm gonna say Liam. There's which is not surprising because he's won the last couple, but he's not necessarily going to be my choice for nationals or some other things. But I think he's going to make it top 3 again and again and again. Where some of these other players who are incredibly hot at the moment, they have some early exits on occasion. Liam just doesn't do that.
Okay.
So if he shows up a lot this season, I think he's gonna get a lot of points.
All right. Who wins nationals?
There must have been a Wi-Fi issue because
Oh.
did you ask me something else?
Who wins nationals?
Oh, sorry. Um, I'm gonna go with my prediction from this last season, which I got right, and I almost won a set of bags from Great Cornhole, but I didn't get it. Uh, Alex,
You're
I
gonna
think
put in his back to back, huh?
yeah, going undefeated in Open 9. And then winning nationals. He's won the last 2 tournaments. I think I'm gonna be interested to see if he can carry that momentum. But I got a hunch he can.
Okay. Who's your breakout player of the season?
So someone who maybe wasn't tier 1 in nationals kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think Kev Penny is gonna have a big season.
Okay. Female of the year?
Lorraine, no question.
Yeah, that's been a pretty consensus.
I shouldn't say no question like disrespect to the other women. That might sound that way. I just mean I play with Lorraine all the time, and she is just
and I think
improving rapidly.
Flo's getting back into it, so I expect big things from her. But
Okay.
that's kind of Vicky's downfall. Vicky's a great player, and we love Vicky and we support Vicky. But Vicky doesn't have the competition that Lorraine does. She has Ian, which is fine. But when you're playing the same player over and over, you learn tendencies and you can beat tendencies. When you got to play against 7, 8 different people on a regular, then you have to start. It's a difference.
Totally.
Junior of the year.
Okay. Now I know this is gonna be
If you
biased.
pick anybody other than your boy, dude,
It is Clayton. And let me tell you guys, I don't know if you've been well, you won't have seen him since the last season, but he is getting so good. Last night he took Farmer he got 11 points off of David Farmer and he threw a 6.4, I think. I mean, the kid he is really improving. So I think he's gonna make a splash. He's still the only junior to make tier 1.
Yeah, Graham picked him.
Yeah.
I picked Kieran, but for the same reason I picked Lorraine. All right, and your comeback player of the year.
So I did catch your last episode with Ali, and I saw you all three talking about Tony Gavin, and that's a great answer. So to do something, to think of something different, the people that came to mind, it's going to depend on if they play or not. But I was thinking about a couple seasons back. I remember being scared to play Ben Shaw, or Jeff Vaughn. When those guys were playing, they were good and they would throw really well, but I just haven't seen them play.
Yeah.
So if they can show back up, it would be great to see Wookie, Ben Shaw, just make a big comeback.
All right. I like it. I like it. And there we go.
Is that it?
That's it.
We did it. Well, this was a long one. You predicted that, Josh. So
yeah, it always is. I'm sweating my bullets off in my office. It's so hot in here right now.
I know. Well, we can call it quits so we can cool off.
But hey, thanks for coming on, Jared. You want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Just want to shout out my club, Solent. We just we new people coming every week. Last night I was there, met 2 new people, and it's just, the community is great. Even with the Gedney's gone last night, we had 14 people in a tournament. It was a great showing, and people on holiday. It's just a great community, great club, great matches, great competition. So just want to shout out the Solent Club. Can't wait to have you guys down with us in March.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that already. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for having me. It's honestly it's been really fun, and
thanks for coming on, bud.
It's a good time, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
I'll try and watch on the Fan Zone app, and then looking forward to facing off in September.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
3 weeks.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Jared. We'll see you later, bud.
All right.
Thank you.
And we're back. Shout out to Jared for coming on, man. It's always good to catch up with Jared and have a good conversation. He's a good dude. He is an OG. So, good times, man.
Hopefully he'll bounce back this next season and get that maiden win that we predicted last year for him.
Yeah, I think he will, man. I think he'll get it figured out.
Well, like you said, he started figuring it out towards the end of the season, so he's going to be one of them guys people don't want to see on the opposite end of the board again. No time, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, man. I don't have much else. It's been a long one.
Yeah, just that. Our shout outs, obviously.
Shout out to our sponsors. Slicky Baggers. This is the old school hat, obviously, but I think I'm going to bust it out this weekend for doubles on Sunday, just for fun. Yeah, Just Be 10. If you guys are wanting anything from them, let me know. Try to get it ordered because I know they're going to take orders and bring stuff to Porridge. I'm happy to try to bring stuff back for you guys. Yeah. Shout out to LFG Cornhole, obviously. That's us. Shout out to George. Shout out to Great Cornhole. Shout out to Cornhole Players Club. Let's go. Let me not forget this time. Let's go, Mark. Let's see. Shout out to Cornhole 101. And farewell.
I have another great episode this weekend. Like,
what's that?
Outtakes. The episode they put out back end of last week, like the outtakes portion. I thought Danny was gonna die.
I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it yet. It is on my list to watch.
Brilliant.
And, a farewell to the Big Asp Cornhole Pod. We were fortunate enough to get to go on their podcast, which is a pretty big deal, to be honest. I mean, outside Danny went on it, but I mean,
they were the premier cornhole
it's a pretty
podcast
big
out
deal.
there.
So
6 years been listening to them. Like when I first discovered this sport in COVID, and then I was like, couldn't get enough of it. Start searching on Spotify, found them and the dog cast. The time I think it was them two started off a matter of weeks apart, and then been tuning in weekly ever since. Like it was a bit emotional. Listen to the last episode. Like,
what they did, that was episode number 353.
This is episode 71. We got some way to go.
Is it only 71 episodes for us?
So 71, yeah. The problem is we've had a lot of weeks where we've missed weeks. We've not been consistent every week.
Yeah, but still, 71 shows is a pretty good run.
Yeah. 71 not out.
We got plenty more to go.
Yeah. Hopefully one day we can still 6 years time we'll be surpassing their number. Hopefully they come back at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like if they do something else out, even if it's a sport, I'm not interested. Even if they'd start a bloody paddle podcast, I'll probably still tune in just to hear the familiar voices dudes, I listen to every week.
Yeah, they're funny dudes. All right, man. But I am going to sign off. I'm Josh.
I'm Graham.
Remember, just board it. We'll see you this weekend, bud.
See you later.